Okay, I hope everyone knows that what is the degrees of freedom, and the degrees of freedom for the supports that will be
Sir,
considered as.
I was not on that class, sir.
Okay, how about remaining?
I was
How about,
not on that.
okay, okay. How about remaining?
Sir, repeat once again, sir.
Okay, degrees of freedom. And next, next. Okay, anyhow.
Once again.
Okay, fine. Okay, so here, so when we see your this structure, that is module 1, that combines the different kinds of contents in here, that is all correlated to one each other. Because why I am asking for understanding the degrees of freedom. If you know the degrees of freedom to calculate for different kind of supports, then only you will be able to calculate the static and kinematic indeterminacies, right? So once you know the degrees of freedom, then only you will be able to calculate the static and kinematic indeterminacies. So once you are able to calculate this or to distinguish between static and kinematic indeterminacies of the structures, then only you will be able to understand the concept of this determinate structures. What is determinate and what is indeterminate, right? What is static and what is kinematic. That is why I am asking you, that is the very basic thing, that is the degrees of freedom. So here, so we will discuss the degrees of freedom by referring to the each supports. So, however, we know that what are different kinds of structural forms, right? Different types of structural forms and conditions of equilibrium. So, the conditions of equilibrium is nothing but the summation of moments, right? That is the sum of all reactions and forces must be equal to 0 in a particular system. That is nothing but the equations of equilibrium we can consider. So equations of equilibrium will be considered for moments. The sum of moments in the section or in the structure must be 0, right? And summation of all forces must be equal to 0, right? Must be equal to 0 whether the forces are in horizontal direction or in vertical directions, right? And sum of all the forces, that is axial force you can say, or horizontal force, right? The sum of all horizontal force must be equal to 0. So if your structure is lying with these three conditions, then the structure is considered to be and statically determinate. If the structure is not lying with these conditions, that means the equations of equilibrium is insufficient to calculate the degrees of freedom, then the particular structure would be considered as a indeterminate structure, right? So to calculate the structure or degrees of freedom or any of the form of structure, whether it is fixed supports or peanut supports, right? So to calculate those, we must be remember what are the reactions that is taking place in the particular support system, right? So let us take an example. The example must be maybe considered for one, that is fixed one, right? So fixed one will be having, that is fixed condition. So for this fixed condition, how do you show that the support condition would be like this, right? Will be like this fixed one. The fixed condition for the beam or any of the structure would be showing in this manner, correct? So here, if you want to calculate or if you know what are the degrees of freedom over here, so here what are the actual reactions taking place when the particular support is loaded. So here the vertical force will be restrained, correct? That means will be generated, it will not be allowed. And again, horizontal movement will be restrained. Along with that, we will be having another movement. The movement will be also restrained. That means the reaction force in y direction, that we can say ry, right? And reaction horizontal force, that is reaction in rx, and the movement about the z axis, right? So movement about z axis reaction in x-axis and reaction in y-axis. These are all the forces are restrained. That means which are not allowed. If it is not allowed, then there will be some value, right? So for that in the fixed condition, it will be considered as a 3 numbers. That means there are 3 numbers of reactions will be there for fixed support. That means there is no degrees of freedom here. No degrees of freedom, nothing but that means there is no movement is allowed. There is no horizontal reaction is allowed. There will be some restrictions. For that restriction, the reactions in x direction, reactions in y direction, and movement in z direction will be appearing, right? So next, if you consider and support, so whatever I am talking is related to 2-dimensional only, right? Whatever I am speaking here, that is all correlated with the 2-dimensional structures. 2-dimensional structures is nothing but over here. I know, I hope you know that what is 2-dimensional structure. Only x and y direction will be considered for the forces, right? So next, if you consider for second condition, that is second support condition, would be of hinged. We can say, we consider the next second condition, that is hinged condition. Okay. So for this hinged condition, what would be the diagram that we can have in an image that is like this, right? I hope many of you have seen these types of supports provided in the examples, right? Also we can have, or we can have right here, it will be provided in this manner. So here, if you consider hinged condition, what are the forces or what are the reactions that will develop due to this support condition? See here, if you observe this cursor, I hope you are able to see this cursor, right? Is this visible? Correct? The cursor is visible,
Sir.
right? So here, if you trying to get what are the forces are released over here and what are the forces are restrained here, if you have a loading on this beam, if you have loading on this beam, or else you can have this one. So here the forces are restrained in horizontal direction because it will not allow the beam to move in the horizontal direction because it is fixed at the base, right? And however, in vertical direction it will be fixed, and that means it will not be allowed when the beam is loaded in vertical direction. It will not be allowed to move, as well as in horizontal direction it will not be allowed to move, but it can be allowed to move in movement. It can have a movement. That means there is 1 degree of freedom. There is 1 degree of freedom, and we have 2 unknown reactions. 2 unknown reactions for hinged condition and 1 degrees of freedom. Is that clear? Similarly, if you have a third one, that is, we can take the support condition as roller condition. So for this roller condition, what are the particular reactions are restrained and released? That you can say, you can have with an example, or else there are the main diagram that is denoted in this manner. Right, that is denoted in this manner, or else you can have another image that is like this. So now, can anyone tell me that what are the forces that can be allowed, or that is allowed in this form of condition of support? Can anyone tell me? Just try your own. No issues if you are wrong.
Vertical.
Vertical force is restrained, correct? So vertical force is restrained and the reaction will be generated, right? Then what are the degrees of freedom here now?
Two.
Two numbers, very good. 2 is because one is horizontal, it can be moved in horizontal direction, correct? In horizontal direction we can have a movement, as well as in this direction, that is in movement we can have this movement. That means there are two numbers of degrees of freedom, but one is restrained, right? That means one reaction that is unknown over here in this support, correct? So now these are the main three conditions, supporting conditions, that are going to be involved in the structures and every structures will be having the same conditions, whether it is restrained against all the forces, that is all three conditions, or some of the conditions will be allowed and some of the conditions will be restrained, correct? So here along with these supports, in some of the conditions we'll be having a release in the beam. So what is that release? Release is nothing but we'll be having say we can have in fixed support over here, and we can have an hinged support over here, right? So if you want to calculate what are the exact reactions there in the beam, so can anyone tell me? Here there are three numbers of reactions, right? Here there are three numbers of reactions. So here only one reactions you can have, right? But the degrees of freedom over here is 0 and degrees of freedom over here is 2, right? So the reactions for this beam will be having three numbers, and that its support will be 1. That will be total will be 4 numbers of reactions there in the beam. Am I right? So instead of this, if you have an hinge or a release in between this beam, so here we can have a movement that is allowed. The movement is allowed, right? That means the reactions are released, that is the moment for two beams. For two beams will be having 1. That means that we can able to calculate, that is m dash 1, m dash minus 1 we can have. So what is m dash minus 1? M dash is the numbers of members connected to this internal hinge. So how many numbers of beams are connected to this internal hinge? That would be considered as a m dash, right? M dash minus 1 will be having the result released reactions. So here the released reaction is 1 and total reactions are 4 in this one. That is, we'll be having the 4 plus 1, that is 5 numbers of total reaction, right? So here that means in this manner the different kinds of supporting the supports that are going to be involved, right? And again, if you have different kind of combinations of the supports in the example, if you have right, that is another case, right, like this, the beam will be having in this manner. So for this beam will be having an vertical support. That means vertical reaction will be generated for this support when the beam is loaded, along with the moment is generated. That means the moment is not allowed and vertical displacement, vertical direction movement is not allowed, right? The vertical reaction as well as the moment will be generating in this structure when the beam is loaded, but the horizontal movement is allowed. The degrees of freedom is 1 and the number of reactions in the support is 2. You must remember, so what are the degrees of freedom over here and what is the number of reactions for the particular support and beam. That means it is nothing but when you are going to calculate the degrees of freedom, that is nothing but the kinematic indeterminacies. Kinematic indeterminacy for the particular structure. When you are going to calculate the degrees of, that is the reactions, number of reactions for the beam, that will be the degrees of, that is static indeterminacy. Kinematic indeterminacy is the calculation of degrees of freedom, and the static indeterminacy is the calculation of number of reactions that is there in the structure. Right? Is that clear? So I repeat once again, the static indeterminacy is the calculation of number of reactions in the structure, whereas the kinematic indeterminacy is the calculation of degrees of freedom in the structure. Right? If you are going to calculate the freedom, that is nothing but the calculation of kinematic indeterminacies. If you are going to calculate the number of reactions generated in the beam or any structure, that will be considered as a statical indeterminacy. Right? So based on this concept, we are going to have a different conditions and different problems that will be going to ask for your exams. So when we observe for the question papers in your module 1, it will be discussed, it will be the questions will be generated based on the static indeterminacy and kinematic indeterminacy. We have to distinguish between these two. So it is nothing but we are going to have a calculation in different manners, that is degrees of freedom and degrees of numbers of reactions. And also the questions will be rising the to calculate the numbers of kinematic, that is the degrees of statical indeterminacy and kinematical indeterminacy for the kinds of supports and the kinds of structures that is provided in the question papers. That is, there may be of around 2 to 5 number of 2 numbers to 5 numbers of structures will be given, and will be asked to calculate the statical and kinematical indeterminacies. I hope everyone has seen the question papers. If you have not, I will just show that. So number of question papers that are taken for the number of question papers are taken for this reference over here. So I will show you just few of them. So that means the most important thing that we are going to consider in the structure is static and kinematic indeterminacies. Okay. Here the particular structures are given. See, it is asked for 8 marks. In this 8 marks, determine the degrees of static indeterminacy and for the following structures. So here some of the 4 numbers of structures is been given. For these 4 structures, we have to calculate the statical indeterminacy. So let us discuss how to calculate the statical indeterminacies for various kinds of structures. The particular structure will be having different support conditions. So here, before going to calculate, sorry for the interruption, before going to calculate, knowing what is static indeterminacy, So for the static, when you are going to calculate the statical indeterminacies, you'll be having two numbers of total indeterminacies, that is external indeterminacy, and second one that is related to internal. When you are going to calculate the external indeterminacies, so I will denote that with the ds. So ds is nothing but degree of statical indeterminacy externally, right? And degrees of statical indeterminacy internally, right? Is the nomenclature is clear? Is this nomenclature clear? The degrees of statical indeterminacies externally and degrees of statical indeterminacies internally, right? So here, so degrees of statical indeterminacies externally, when you are going to calculate the reaction forces, that is reactions, that would be considered for equilibrium conditions. That is considered for equilibrium conditions, that is three numbers. So there are three numbers of equilibrium conditions are there, and when you are going to calculate for degrees of statical indeterminacies for external, you have to have only r minus 3 here. So please note it. So DSE is nothing but r minus 3. And at the same time, if you are going to calculate for internal reactions, that is internal statical indeterminacies for particular structure, that would be considered for as a 3c minus r we can have, right? So r is here. In this r, in this r is nothing but reactions. Reactions what we have known, that is what is there in the particular supports. But this is RR. This is RR is the number of released reactions. Please do remember that RR is released reactions. Released reactions, that is RR, and C, that is the C is nothing but the number of closed loop. So I will just show you with an example, that is number of closed loops. So here 3C minus released reaction, that will be given the degree of statical indeterminacy internally, and 3R minus 3 will be given as externally. So here to calculate the total degrees of indeterminacy, the total degree of indeterminacy, that is ds, which is equal to dse plus dsi. That means the total degree of indeterminacy, that is statical indeterminacy, is considered equal to sum of external and as well as internal indeterminacies. Is that clear? The students, is that clear? Please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Right? So discussion is whatever we are having discussion. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Remaining people, are you listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. If you have any doubts regarding the content, you can ask there itself. Don't keep quiet. Okay. So this is about the external as well as internal indeterminacy, and that is statical indeterminacy. So in this discussion, we have discussed that how to calculate the number of reactions for R, for different kinds of support over here, for different kind of support, and as well as the C is the closed loop. Once the problems I will consider, I will discuss this, and RR is the released reaction that is discussed over here. If you observe the cursor, I am showing that one releaser, that is internal hinge we have considered, that is nothing but released reaction, that is one released reaction we have considered in this structure, right? So let us have some of the examples to calculate the static indeterminacy for the particular structure, right? Okay, now we'll discuss the statical indeterminacies. Statical indeterminacy. So for this, the example one I will consider. So for beam, I consider a beam with a fixed support and having another fixed support. So for this question, it is asked to calculate the number of statical indeterminacy. So what is the statical indeterminacy for this structure? So how do you calculate the DSE? So DSE, how do you calculate DSE over here? DSE is nothing but R minus 3, correct? So what is the value of R over here? Please tell me, anyone, what is the value of R here?
6.
6 numbers, because we have 3 numbers over here, 3 numbers over here, and again 3 numbers over here. That is nothing but the horizontal force, vertical reaction, and the moment, correct? That means there are 6 numbers of reactions and we have 3 numbers of equilibrium condition. We are remained with 3 numbers. It is externally. So now if you consider for internally, what is the value of formula? That is DSI. That DSI equal to 3C minus RR. So here we don't have any closed loop over here. Do you have any closed loop? Can you observe here? No, that is, so 3 into C is 0 minus, is there any released reactions? Released reactions will be there only when there is an internal hinge. If there is no internal hinge, then the RR value will be also equal to 0. That means the particular beam is internally, it is 0. Then, so total degrees of statical indeterminacy will be 3 for this type of beam. Is that clear how we have calculated this? And second one, I will take an framed structure. Second, I will take an framed structure. The static indeterminacy of the structure is asked to calculate for the particular structure over here. So if you have a beam in this manner, so I will have an roller support here. So I will have roller support here, and again I will another consider another support, that is hinged one. So I will consider a hinged one. Along with this, okay, this much is enough. Now it is asked to calculate degrees of statical indeterminacy. So what are the statical indeterminacy here? DSE plus DSI. Okay, so DSE and Berithrilin, DSE is nothing but R minus 3, correct? R minus 3. So what is the value of R over here now?
6.
Right, this is 3 numbers, this is 2 numbers, and this is 1 number. And whatever you are telling, the sixth number, that is the reactions, not degrees of freedom. And don't confuse that. These 6 are the reactions that is going to happen when the particular structure is loaded. Okay. So here for DSI 3C minus RR. 3C minus RR. So now, so I will just write over here. Externally we have 6 numbers minus 3 plus. So 3, how many closed loops are there? 2 numbers. Okay, very good. There are 2 numbers of closed loops are there. Is there any internal hinge provided in the structure? No.
Sir.
Okay, that is 0 because we don't have any internally provided released reactions or hinged over here. So if hinge is provided like this, then it will be considered. The hinge will be provided in this manner, right? So once it is provided, then only it will be considered. Now it is not provided anything, so reactions, that is released reactions, are 0. So 6 minus 3 will be 3 plus 3 into 6. Sorry, 3 into 2 will be 6. That is total 9 numbers of statical indeterminacy is there in this structure. Is that clear? Similarly, in this question paper it is provided, it is asked to calculate here. The same question I think we have considered over here. For this beam, for this structure I am considering. So how many reactions are there in this structure? So how many reactions are there in the structure that is framed one?
3.
No, there are three numbers of supports. Each support will be having 3 reactions. 3 plus 3 plus 3 will be having 9 reactions, correct? So 9 minus 3, that is R minus 3, will be of, externally it has 6 statical indeterminacy. Is that clear? The particular structure having 6 numbers of statical indeterminacy, that is externally. So how we have calculated that externally? R minus 3. R is 9 numbers. Reactions are 9 numbers over here, and 3 is the equations of equilibrium. There are 3 numbers of equations of equilibrium. So 9 numbers of reactions. So 9 minus 3 will be of 6. Correct. So internally how much it is? We have to calculate 3C minus R. That is 3C minus RR. So there are 2 numbers of closed loops here, that is C equal to 2. Again 3 into 2 will be 6. 6 minus 0. Right, I will write over here if you are unable to understand. So D is equal to DSE plus DSI. DSE plus DSI. So DSE we have R minus 3. So for R we have 9 numbers of reactions, minus 3 will be having 6 numbers of statical indeterminacies, that is externally. Some of the cases, in some of the questions, you may even ask to calculate only external statical indeterminacy for the structures. And in some of the cases, it is also asked to calculate the internally, what are the internal statical indeterminacy for the structure, right? It is even though it is most important for your competitive exams also, it is asked to calculate what are the statical indeterminacy externally for the given structure for multiple choice questions. I hope many of your diploma students are here, and I think and most of them are applied for the competitive exams. In that competitive exams, you may have observed these types of questions, right? Now for this DSI, what is 3C minus RR, right? So for this 3C minus RR, we have how many closed loops are here? 2 numbers of closed loops are here. This is open, so we cannot consider this. This is closed and this is closed. We can have these two. 3 into 2, and we don't have any internal reactions. our internal hinge, that is 6 numbers. So we'll be having 6 plus 6. 6 plus 6 will be of 12 numbers. That is 12 degrees of statically indeterminate. This structure is statically indeterminate for 12 degrees. So is that clear how we have calculated? Now consider this one. So now can anyone tell me how many reactions are there in this structure?
Four.
4 numbers. Very good. Here we have 1.
Four.
Here we have 1. That is 2. 2 plus 2 will be of 4 numbers of reactions. Correct? So we will write here that the diagram is like this. The diagram is like this. We have 4 numbers of reactions. 1 over here, and that is hinged one, right? So here we have one reaction. Here we have one reaction. Here we have 2 reactions. Altogether will be 4 numbers. Correct? So 4 numbers of reactions are here. So ds ds will be r minus 3. That is 4 minus 1. That is nothing but there are 3 degree of statical indeterminacy for the structure. However, we don't have any closed loop.
Sir, 4 minus 3.
Okay, very good. 4 minus 3, that is 1. So 1 degree of statically indeterminate, that is 4 minus 3, that is 1 degrees of statically indeterminate. And however, we don't have any internally provided hinge over here and closed loop. That means the structure is free from, that is having no degrees of internal statical indeterminacies. So if you have asked to calculate the total degrees of statical indeterminacy, this is more than enough to say that the degrees of statical indeterminacy is 1, like this, right? Is that clear? So along on this content, I will have another example. I will take another example. Now we have a a frame comprising with an hinge over here, and we have another support. So now can you able to tell me what is the value of ds now? You alone calculate and tell me. You alone calculate and tell me what is ds, dse plus dsi, right? So external indeterminacy r minus 3. So for this we have r equal to 6 numbers over here, right? And now, right, dsi will be having 3c minus rr, right? And the rr will be having m dash minus 1. So m dash is number of beams. Number of beams, that is 1. This is 1. So there are 2 beams connected for 1. That is 1 we have RR. So ds will be having 6 minus 3, 3. And here we have 0 minus 1. So total ds equal to, here we can have 3 minus 1. That is 2 numbers. So are you people getting the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
remaining. So how many of you are here? Here, more than 20, 25 members are here. I am asking all of you that whatever we have discussed till now, is that clear for you people?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, fine. So along with this, in some of the cases, it will be asked, that is, it will be asked to calculate, or it will be says that whether the structure is statically determinate, and whether the particular structure is determinate or indeterminate, or stable or unstable, that will be asked. Some of the conditions that will be provided by the structures, as we have discussed. Instead of values or degrees of statistical numbers, it will be asked whether it is determinate or indeterminate or stable. However, I have discussed this thing. Already discussed this thing. Just I will remind you that how it is considered. And so for first condition, I would say, that is the reactions when the total numbers of reactions when it is equal to 3 times of the numbers of members. I will take 3m, right? And again we have another condition, that is reactions is greater than the 3 numbers of members. And we have another one, that is reactions is less than 3 times of the members in the structure. So if we have these types of conditions, in this condition we can determine if the reactions are equal to 3 times of the members, then the particular structure will be considered as statically determinate. And at the same condition, if the reactions is greater than the 3 times of the members, then the particular structure will be considered as statically indeterminate. Indeterminate. And at the same time, the reactions are less than the 3 times of the members, then the structure will be considered as unstable. So now is this visible? Correct, the fonts are getting small, but I think it is visible. So if you consider this structure, what we have discussed now, the structure, we have 3 numbers of members over here, there are 6 numbers of reactions. So what is the exact condition, which condition is going to satisfy for this structure? So reactions are 6 over here, and 3m will be of 9. So reaction is less than the members, then this structure can be classified as. So how do you classify this structure as?
Unstable.
Unstable, because the total numbers of reactions are less than the total number of members in the structure. That is 3 times of m will be greater than the reactions. So whenever the reactions are smaller and the members are greater, then automatically structure will be unstable. Unstable in the sense which will not be able to able to carry a particular loads in the member. So it will not be stable against the different kinds of horizontal force as well as axial forces. So along with this, if the structure, say if you consider this one, so can anyone tell me, so this one, so there are 3 plus 3, 6 numbers of reactions are there. So members 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 numbers of members are here, 10 into 30. So again 3 into 10. So the reactions are less and the member is greater than the particular structure is classified as unstable, right? So this is how the another types of questions that will be rising in your exams. So along with this, whatever we have discussed, these are all related to rigid joints. So these are all related to rigid joints, and regarding this I have already discussed in your first class with, for rigid joints, for pinner joints, what are the exact reactions and exact forces that we are going to consider. So just I could remember you that for rigid joints we'll be having three numbers of forces, that is shear force, bending moment, right? Another one is, so can anyone tell me, that is shear force, bending moment, and horizontal forces. That these three types of forces that you can expect in the rigid connection. But in pin connection, we'll be having only two forces, that is axially connected. That is the moment will not be there. That is the moment is allowed. That is why we are saying that is pinned connection, right? So the same thing what I have already discussed in your first class. Please do remember that the structures are divided into two types, that is rigid and pin jointed. In rigid jointed, the movement is not allowed, and in pin jointed, the movement will be allowed. That will be the bending moment will be considered as 0. And along with this, we'll be having the different kinds of structures, that is the degrees of freedom, the degrees of freedom for different supports what we have discussed in this class. And now the particular static calculations of statical indeterminacy for the beams we have discussed, and also frames we have discussed. In coming classes we'll discuss the pin jointed trusses, the statical indeterminacy for pin jointed stresses we can discuss. Later we can move to calculate the number of kinematic indeterminacy for the same structures. Statical indeterminacy is different, kinematical indeterminacy is different. So whatever we have discussed in this class, that is related to statical indeterminacy, and that is considered for two-dimensional beams. So if you have that is three-dimensional, again the some of the considerations will be differ, and that I will going to discuss in coming classes, right? So here we have another one, that is linear and non-linear analysis. So linear and non-linear analysis is nothing but the name itself tells here that linear and non-linear. So whenever you are going to make a particular structure or consider for the particular structure for analysis, we have to consider the stress and strain relationship. Stress and strain relationship is nothing but whenever the structure is loaded, there will be some stresses. Due to those stresses, the strain will be occurring. So the relationship between this stress strain would be considered whether it is linear or non-linear. So linear relationship is nothing but it is proportional to its limit, and however or whenever the stress is increased, the strain is also increased up to certain limit. If that limit is considered for the structure, then the particular analysis is considered to be a linear analysis. So I could say once again, the system, when it is called a linear system, if the material of the structure is having the linear stress strain relationship, and a very minute deflection we can observe, but that will be neglected. But in such cases, the that is laws of superposition, you can say laws of superposition that holds good when the system will be treated as a non-linear system. That is, a linear system is the stress strain relationship is linearly varying. That is the one another that is dependent, and again we have another one that is non-linear. The non-linear relationship is nothing but having the deformations are considered in the particular body. whether the structure or whether the material is non-linear, then it is considered to be non-linear. That is, non-linearly it is in material. If it is non-linear related to geometry, then it is called as a geometrical non-linearity. And just you will be having the concept for this on this. The question will be lying. The question will be asked that it's define linear and non-linear systems for the 6 marks. So that is why I'm discussing this. The linear and non-linear conditions that is considered for geometry as well as material. Whenever the stress strain relation is linear or proportional to its limit, then it is linear. Some deformation, small deformations are neglected, and for non-linear stresses, that is analysis, we could have non-linearity for particular materials and geometry. For material and geometry, you could have these non-linearity, right? So this is how the linearity and non-linearity in the system is considered, right? Is that clear? So in coming class, we'll discuss some of the problems related to statical indeterminacies in pinhead jointed and frames. I will consider frames, some of the questions on the frames, that is again related to your internal hinge, right, and different kinds of supports provided in the structure, right? So whatever we have discussed in this class till now, I hope it is clear for you people, and we'll be looking forward to discuss and different kinds of problems in coming classes. Okay, is that okay? Right. So with this, I will conclude this class. In coming classes, I will discuss the remaining content. Okay, thank you all. Now we can leave.